And just as he's doing that, our headlining guest is sitting down to join us here on draft night, 8:15, right on cue. That's what we've heard. We've heard from the Ravens. He does not miss meetings. He's always on time, prepared and ready to go. And we are pleased to welcome in Roquan Smith to the show tonight.
Yeah.
Uncle Ro apparently is what he goes by these days. Welcome in, man. Thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Hey, we just got to ask you off the top here. Lamar Jackson signed to a 5-year deal. Your reaction, Roquan?
I've seen it. So actually, it was so crazy. I'm at the dentist like earlier today, and then I just get an ESPN notification. And it says Lamar Jackson has agreed to terms. And I'm like, what? First name came to my head was Super Bowl. I'm like, yeah, we're loaded.
Exactly. Let's cut to specifically the first words as a newly extended Raven that he gave, courtesy of Ravens Twitter account, and we'll get your thoughts on this.
You know, for the last few months, there's been a lot of he say, she say, a lot of nail biting, a lot of head scratching going on. But for the next 5 years, it's a lot of flock going on. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go, man. Can't wait to get there. Can't wait to be there. Can't wait to light up M&T for the next 5 years, man. Let's get it.
I got to ask, Roquan, I mean, was there any doubt in your mind throughout the course of this offseason? I know you don't know him too well in terms of like all these years, like other past teammates since he's been in town. Was there any doubt throughout the offseason?
Honestly, no, man. I leave that stuff up to like EDC and company, and I knew, you know, the way he came after me and the way he was able to work a deal with me. And then with Lamar being one of his homegrown guys, I knew he was really determined, and I knew he was like, that was his main focus to get Lamar tied up. So having that and, man, just having him as our quarterback, I'm stoked and thrilled just to know I'll be lining up what I got going to war, and I wouldn't want any other quarterback.
Hey, Roquan, I once was interviewed by Eric DaCosta. I had interviewed for a job in the scouting department. I did not get it. That's why I'm sitting here in my home. But I remember interviewing with him, and it didn't feel like an interview. We just started talking, and before I knew it, we were talking about a vision of different things, and he had me fired up. Can you bring us in to what it's like to negotiate with him? Like, what was that like? You did it without an agent, just like Lamar. How was your relationship, and was he somebody that you felt like was easy to negotiate with?
Oh, absolutely. I thought it was great. I haven't done too much negotiating in my life, but as far as like when I got a chance to get to Baltimore and negotiating with him, it felt like home right away. And like just the conversation, there was never any pressure. There was always clear communication. Transparency was something big that he was on, and I was big on that as well. And he, you know, let me know what he thought of me and the way I do things and what he would like to see from me. And I felt like I was following through with those things and just continuing to be myself throughout. And I felt like everything just works out. And it was a pleasure working with him. And I'm just excited that I'm locked in for 5. And then we got Lamar locked in for 5. So I'm thrilled.
You think about it, too, like the core of this team, you could argue, is locked in for the foreseeable future. And so, you know, okay, you can talk about the cap and now and the flexibility that EDC is going to have to kind of build around this upcoming fall. And it seems as if there's this window that he really wants to capitalize on. What have you made of these offseason moves, headlined, of course, by bringing in Odell Beckham Jr.? I mean, Lamar hasn't played with somebody to his caliber before in terms of experience, resume, things of that nature. I imagine you've been following him throughout his career.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Huge fan of OBJ and all his celebrations and stuff. Way more swag than I ever will have, you know, with the dancing and whatnot. But yeah, man, I was actually talking with Marlon, Ronnie, all of us, and we was actually on a trip over in Asia prior to us even locking up Lamar. And we was just thinking like, man, how the core of this team is like right now. We're built for success. Like right now, these next 3 to 5 years are our time to like make a true run each and every year that we're competing. And I think if we not in the Super Bowl each and every year, then it's a letdown, honestly, like with the amount of talent and the core guys on this team and how the leaders are. So I'm just excited to be a part of a winning tradition. And go to war each and every day with a group of good guys.
Yeah, Roquan, we've been saying on this podcast that, the Ravens are making moves like they are all in. So we are totally with you. We see that vision. Here's the other side of it is the AFC is loaded with incredible quarterbacks. You already had Mahomes. You've got Joe Burrow in the conference, Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers joined. I could keep going. What is that when you say it could be wasted? I mean, you've got competition. Do you feel like as a defense, it's like, bring it on, we're ready for these quarterbacks?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't want anything the easy way at all. And that's just how I grew up. And that's the way I am as an adult. And I think it's the AFC. And I think the AFC North is the best division in football, playing in the NFC and things of that nature. And like just the quarterbacks over on the AFC side with Lamar, Burrow, Rodgers, you got some young guys, Pickett. So man, I'm really excited. Watson over in Cleveland. So it's definitely a tough division, tough conference, and I'm excited. And I know we have to go through the best in order to be in the place that we want to be. And obviously, you got Mahomes out there with Kansas City. So yeah, I'm excited, and I think our defense is built, to stop all of those guys. And with a guy like Lamar leading the charge for our offense, I think it's going to be really special. And I'm just excited to put the pads back on, but I'm gonna just keep, getting ready step by step, enjoying the process until we get there and keep building with the guys.
Tell you what, Roquan, people found out that you were coming on and they decided to show up in droves. We got over 1,000 people watching right now, and donations are pouring in. We're going to owe you a drink next time you're in Baltimore. But I got to wonder, I know you didn't overlap with Todd Monken at Georgia, but he's going to be a key piece to the puzzle here, in 2023 on the other side of the football from where you do your work. But you're going to have a chance to get to know him real quick in training camp. So, what are you expecting from him, and how do you think he'll enhance the offense?
I think Todd is a great addition for the offense. Like just me from being a linebacker, defensive guy, watching offenses and stuff, and like some of the things he did with the guys at Georgia. I was watching a lot of games this past season. I'm like, man, why aren't more guys doing this type of stuff in the league? That would like really create some challenges for defenses. So I'm like very excited in how versatile he is in his play calling. We all know he can air it out. And then we already know what our run game is about in Baltimore. And I think you just combine that with his play call and his style. I'm excited. I think the sky's the limit for the offense and with Todd leading the charge. So I'm excited to see the numbers that Lamar, Gus, JK, all of those guys, and Mark, it's going to be a lot of things for him as well, OBJ. So he got a lot of pieces to work with, and I wish I was an OC, working with those pieces, but I'm sure Monken's going to get the job done, and I'm excited for him to be our OC.
Hey, shifting gears a little bit to the draft, since that's what we're doing here. We're like, 8 minutes into this, and we're just now going to start talking about the draft. But one thing we know is that Ravens obviously don't have a second-round pick. And we know that Eric DeCosta loves his draft picks. I'd say he almost obsesses over them. He's borderline obsessive with them. But in his pre-draft press conference, he said, you know what? I feel pretty good that my second-round draft pick is Roquan Smith. What does it make you feel like? That is like, you know what? I've got a team that wants me here, that believes in me, that followed it up with a contract. How does that make you like want to play on the field when you have a team that has backed you up with that, with giving up, precious picks and giving you a contract? Like, how do you feel in terms of like, does that motivate you more on the field?
Oh, absolutely. I'm always motivated myself, just the way I play the game, because the game is an honor truly to be playing this game, and I'll never take it for granted. But just knowing that someone came after me the way he did and the things that he gave up and the contract that I received, it makes me want to even like put even more on the line. Like I bust my tail each and every day, but it makes me want to go even harder, just knowing that someone believed in me so much. And like, it feels surreal at times, but I just know that I'm not going to let him down. I'm not going to let myself down. And at the end of this contract, Baltimore, EDC, and everyone is going to be thrilled that I was given that contract, because I'm going to make sure it was definitely worth it.
Real quick, because we are in the middle of the draft, we just got to update a couple picks. Bryce Young goes to the Panthers. CJ Stroud, mystery solved. He is going to the Texans at 2. So all of those rumors can be put to bed. Quarterback off the top of this draft. your running mate last year, Patrick Queen, had himself a career year. And I think what's often confused about his year last year, I think, and this is all due respect to you, Roquan, I think some folks put him in a box and they say, nah, Roquan was there. He's what leveled him up. And I think there's absolutely a case to be made about that, but he was playing dang good football prior to your arrival. One, have you had a chance to catch up with him this offseason? He's scrubbed some of his social media of all things Ravens. And two, what's it like playing beside him?
Oh man, I love playing beside PQ, and I think he's a great player. Before I got to Baltimore, and I think he's just continuing to get better, and he's so young and still really, like, I feel like he's just getting over the hump and about to probably come into his own this upcoming season, because the type of ball that he was playing at the end of the season last year, I'm like, wow. I was shocked he wasn't like Pro Bowl, but I know how that stuff goes at times, and at least some form of all pro. But I told him that's what he got to grind harder for this year, because I've been in that position as well. And I'm just excited to go to war with him. And he's been, telling me that he's, busting his tail each and every day, getting ready for the season. So I'm excited to line up against him, because I think me and him healthy, there's no two better linebackers in the league. And I put my name on that.
Best duo in the league. I like it. Roquan, what are you hoping for tonight at number 22? Are you like, sending texts to EDC being like, hey, we need a corner, or hey, I need a big dude to gobble up blockers in front of me? What's kind of what do you? I know you trust him, but is there like a feeling that it's like, I'd kind of like this if EDC could pull it off?
Man, I have a lot of big guys in front of me: Big Travis, B-Rod, Meta Beak, all of those guys. So I'm happy with those guys for sure. But I know EDC will make the right decision, whatever he feel the team's needs best, whether that's on the offensive side or the defensive side of the ball. I trust in him, and I think it's going to be great. It's going to be a great addition to our team. And I think whoever the guy is, he better come in ready to go, and I'm sure he will, because they do a lot of research in those guys and make sure they're a right fit for the organization. So I'm excited for whoever we bring in, because I know it's going to be a great choice and a great pick. So I'm just excited.
So tell me if I'm off base here with my first impression of you from afar. Like, all business, you don't get too high or too low, old soul, not really into social media except if you're in Thailand. Like, what is Roquan like away from the field, and just how all business are you? Can you let your hair down a little bit here and there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I tend to let my hair down a little bit when I'm around friends and stuff. But truly, man, I enjoy traveling. I just want to see the world. That's like a dream of mine. I grew up in a really small town down in Southwest Georgia. Population like 1,100, so not a lot. I vividly remember looking in the social study books and stuff, seeing different places on the maps, and like, man, I would love to travel there one day. I would love to do this one day. And I've been blessed enough to be able to do some of those adventures and have plenty of more to come. And then I just truly enjoy trying new foods as well. So definitely have to watch that. When I'm in season, can't get too big, slow me down, or anything like that. And then I love watching documentaries in my spare time, hanging out, relaxing, watching true crime, a lot of mystery documentaries, stuff that I can like kind of gain something from, nonfiction documentaries or things of that nature. So I'm big into that. And I also just love like hanging out with friends, trying out new restaurants and things of that nature.
All right, so piggybacking off of that, two questions here. Tell us about your offseason. It looks like you were in Japan. You've flown with the Blue Angels, if I have that correct. And then as a follow-up to that, as a foodie, what are you eating tonight during the draft?
Honestly, what I was eating tonight during the draft, it was pretty simple. I was just eating a bowl tonight, like a Tex-Mex bowl with like just rice, beans, chicken. I was keeping it pretty simple today. During the week, I'm trying to eat more clean, and then on the weekends, that's when I'll tend to like venture off into trying some nice restaurants and whatnot. But yeah, flying with the Blue Angels was like insane. Almost passed out multiple times, but it was an amazing. It was an amazing thing to do, just to be able to go up, fly with those guys, see what the day in the life is like with those people, and like, how they bust their tails and do what they do. And I was just honored to be there. And yeah, the travel, I'm all about the travel. So anybody, I think me and Marlo are very similar in that, but I think he's a little more spontaneous, and he will literally pick up and go with a book bag. I will normally pack a bag though before.
Be honest, is Marlo sometimes annoying to travel with? Because he seems like he can be a little much at sometimes.
Honestly, he's not as bad as like what people think what it is. It can rub some people the wrong way, but like me, because I'm like a like I travel a lot, so it's not like where I need him next to me or something like that. Some people can feel that way to where it's like, oh, we're traveling together, I can't have you leave me or do anything like that. Because Marlo will literally like up, it'll be 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning. Marlo will just up, go for a jog, and then he'll just say, oh, then I'll call him like 2 hours later. Oh, yeah, I just stopped to grab breakfast, but we had already planned to eat. So little things like that, he'll mess up your plans, but I still think he's a great guy to travel with because he's a character. He keeps you laughing the entire time. I would love to just have a vlog of him, a day in the life of Marlo, just a camera on his head all the time. I think we will all die laughing.
Oh, it was hilarious to see the photos. Like as somebody who's done a 10-day backpack in Thailand, I did it in college. Did you guys fly into Bangkok?
Yeah, we flew into Bangkok. We did.
Okay. It was hilarious to see you guys like just walking through that. You can walk through there as if it's normal life. You're not necessarily going to do that in Baltimore. It's a small town. You're the Ravens. Ronnie Stanley's a huge dude, but it was hilarious to see you guys traveling together and taking photos. You're towering over everybody there.
Yeah, no, it was definitely crazy. Met a couple Raven fans out in Thailand. I recall meeting one at a market. Actually, he seen Ronnie and then came up to Ronnie. He was like, Ronnie just started naming all of us. So him and his girlfriend or whatever. So that was pretty cool. And then we just met a couple other like just random NFL fans and things like that. But it was definitely a great trip and got a chance to really have some bonding with the guys and just see what we all are like outside of our comfort zone in different areas.
All right, Roquan, we'll get you out on this one because I know we got you on a time limit here. Real quick, we know that you're doing a youth football camp, right, in Baltimore that you've always done in your hometown. Tell us about that, why you decided to do it in Baltimore, and how, the youth can find it.
Absolutely. I love giving back to the community, love giving back to the youth as well. And I just think it's something amazing to be able to do and have an impact on the city of Baltimore and the outside surrounding cities and towns. So I'm just excited about that. And I think it's going to be a great with the help of the Ravens and my team. So I'm excited about that, just to be able to give back to Baltimore. And I plan to do so much more, just get my feet wet, just getting started. So I'm excited.
Good for you.
Hey man, we really appreciate the time, and congratulations on everything that's to come. I can't imagine how fired up you got to be after the day that it's been for your organization, and the night's not even close to being over. You get the sense that fireworks are on deck here. So, hey, we'd love to stay in touch with you. Would love to come out to your camp. I'm in Baltimore. Sarah's out in Columbus, so I'll talk to your people, and hopefully we can get you some extra pub there, and just thanks again for your time, man.
Absolutely, man. I would love that. I'd love to see you guys out there. So thank you guys so much for having me. Can't wait to see you guys again.
All right. Appreciate you,
Uncle
Roquan.
Ro, we'll talk to you, man. Appreciate you. Roquan Smith, kind enough to spend part of his evening with us. And